Let's make some Nutella swirled banana bread. To start, you need 3 overripe bananas, 1/4 cup of sugar, and 1/2 cup of packed light brown sugar. Now I'm putting my sugar in with my bananas. If you haven't watched any of my banana bread recipes, then you don't know this. But if you have, then you know. I put my sugar in with my bananas because it works as an abrasive to help break up the bananas. Now, you want to mash up your bananas and mix them all in with that sugar. Now I've got that all mashed together, and as you can see, there are still a few little lumps of banana. I like it that way. If you don't like it that way, make sure you mash until all the lumps are out. Now I'm adding 2 large eggs. These are beautiful eggs from our chickens. And you want to go ahead and break those yolks and start getting those mixed in a little bit, because the eggs are usually kind of hard to mix in. And now we are going to add 1 stick, which is 1/2 cup of butter that has been melted and cooled slightly. You want to let it cool down slightly so that it doesn't scramble your eggs. Now we are adding 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt will make banana bread very, very moist, give it a great texture and a great flavor. If you do not have Greek yogurt, but you want to make this and you have sour cream, you can substitute for 1/2 cup of sour cream instead of 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. Now we are going to add one of my favorite ingredients, which is 2 teaspoons, roughly measured of course, of vanilla extract. Now you want to mix all of this together until it's all nice and smooth, minus the lumps of banana. Now for our dry ingredients. We have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now the cornstarch is to give it a better texture. Cornstarch always aids in giving any baked good like a cake or a quick bread or even a cookie will help aid in giving them a better texture and a better crumb. Now we are going to add our dry ingredients in about 2 parts. That will make it much easier to mix in. Just mixing between each and after, just mix enough to just get all the dry pockets gone, because you don't want to overmix, because you don't want to work out that gluten and get tough banana bread. Now I'm adding the last of the flour, and you want to mix just enough to get it all the dry pockets gone. Now to make this Nutella swirl, we have 2/3 cup of Nutella that we have put in the microwave for about 30 seconds so that it's nice and loose and runny, because that's what you want it. You don't want it thick. Now you have a standard size loaf pan that you have lined with parchment paper. You will thank me for lining it with parchment paper, because you will be able to get the bread out so much easier than not lined at all. And I've sprayed it with cooking oil spray. I use coconut oil spray because it re-solidifies and stays where it stays put instead of all running to the bottom. And now you want to load in about 1/2 of your banana bread mixture, but only 1/2. And you'll see why. Be patient. Now you want to spread that mixture out in the bottom. You want to spread all your batter to the corners. Make sure you get it all in the corners. Now we are going to take about 1/2 of our Nutella, and you're just going to drizzle it all over the top of this layer, and we are going to swirl it through. But first you want to drizzle about 1/2 of it on there. Now just with a butter knife, you are going to swirl it all in. Just swirl it all in there. That way you know you've got it swirled all the way through to the bottom. You don't want to scrape the bottom, because you will risk destroying your parchment paper, and you don't want to do that. So now we are going to put the rest of our banana bread batter on top, just in little globs, because you don't want to bring up that Nutella, because you are going to do that when you start swirling again, because you are going to swirl again. Now you want to smooth that all out. You'll notice that your banana bread batter is very fluffy. That is due to the Greek yogurt. I use full fat Greek yogurt. You can use low fat or non-fat. You'll get a better texture with full fat. Now you want to drizzle the remainder of your Nutella over the top. You want to be a little more precise with this drizzle because it is the top and not wedged in the middle. So you want to not glop it as much as it didn't really matter in the middle. Now we are going to swirl this, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, we've got our other half on there. Now you are just going to swirl. Like I said, once again, don't drag to the bottom because you don't want to tear up your parchment paper. So you want to swirl everything in. And it's okay if you bring some of the banana bread batter up on top. Actually, you kind of want that. And you won't be able to tell at first that you have swirled it, but when you cut into it, you'll be able to see it. Now give it a little shake, just even it back out. And now we are going to put this into a 350 degree preheated oven and let it bake until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out with moist crumbs. This beautifulness is out of the oven. When I tested it in the middle with, you can either use a toothpick or a knife, it came out just with moist crumbs. You don't want to let it come out completely clean because then it will be overbaked because it will carry over cook while it's in the pan. It baked for between an hour and an hour and 10 minutes. To be oddly specific, mine baked for about an hour and 3 minutes. Now you need to let it sit and rest in the pan for about 10 to 15 minutes so that that Nutella can settle down, because while the Nutella swirl is hot, it makes it very unstable and can make it break apart if you take it out before it has started cooling down a little bit. So make sure that you let it cool down for about 10 to 15 minutes in the pan, and then you can remove it and let it finish cooling out of the pan. And it's really easy to remove with your parchment paper. You just pull up the wings of the parchment paper and pull it straight out of the pan. Now let's slice into this and show you how beautiful it looks. I'm going to slice pretty deep, that way you can actually see the swirls. Be very careful cutting into it because it wants to break apart because of the swirls, so be very careful cutting into it. And wait till it's at least mostly cool.
Let's see. Oh, that looks good.
Look at that.
That looks good.
So pretty.
Oh yeah, that looks great.
So if you like Nutella and banana anything, you will love this. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or even a cup of milk. And remember, come back next time to Angelakayskitchen, where I take you from gourmet to everyday and everything in between. God bless.
Angela K, kind of a little thicker, because I think maybe, at least for me, it's going to be a little easier to have it if it's just a little thicker of a slice, but I'm excited to taste it. So good. So perfect. Like, it's banana bread and Nutella. It's so good. It's so delicious. I mean, Angela K makes great banana bread already. Okay, so the banana bread itself is going to be wonderful. Swirling some Nutella to it, outstanding. I'm going to grab my coffee. I'm going to have some fun with this. It's been so delicious. Angela K is an amazing, amazing cook, y'all.